All right, let's jump right in. Today we're diving into something really interesting from our source material. We're talking about 5 powerful traits that women find incredibly compelling. And here's the kicker. It has absolutely nothing to do with what's in your wallet.
You've heard it a million times, right? Is a man's value just his bank account? I mean, it's such a simple way to look at things, maybe even a little cynical. But you have to ask, is that really the whole story?
Well, according to the sources we're digging into, the answer is a hard no. Look, financial stability, sure, it's a piece of the puzzle. But what they're saying is that what truly, deeply attracts women are qualities of character. You know, the stuff that money just can't buy.
So here's the game plan for today. We're going to break down 5 of these core traits: unwavering security, what's called the winner's mindset, emotional intelligence, authentic confidence, and wrapping it all up with a life with purpose. So let's kick things off with security.
All right, first on the list, unwavering security. And I got to be super clear here. We're not talking about a fancy alarm system or a healthy stock portfolio. No, the sources are pointing to something way more fundamental, a quality that's baked right into a person's character.
So what do they mean by security? Well, it's about way more than just money. It's about being emotionally stable. It's about being that calm, steady presence when life gets chaotic, right? Think of it like this. When the storms are raging, are you the one who panics or are you the one who knows how to navigate through it? It's about being truly dependable when the chips are down.
And man, this quote from the source material just nails it. Being the steadfast anchor amidst life's turbulence. That's powerful stuff. It's about creating that sense of emotional safety, a safe harbor, and that's something you just can't put a price tag on. Now, speaking of being an anchor, let's see how that ties into our next point.
Okay, thing number 2 is what the sources call the winner's mindset. And I know, that phrase can sound a little intense, right? But stick with me here, because it's not at all about bragging or showing off a shelf full of trophies. So one of the sources just comes right out and says it. She craves a winner. Whoa, that's a pretty bold statement, right? But before you jump to conclusions, they immediately clarify what that really means. And spoiler alert, it has nothing to do with shiny objects or superficial victories.
So this winner's mindset is really about persistence. It's about resilience. It's that unshakable drive to be excellent. Think about it. A winner isn't the guy who never fails. No way. The real winner is the guy who gets knocked down, figures out why he got knocked down, dusts himself off, and gets back in the ring, smarter and stronger. It's that drive, that refusal to quit that's so compelling. And you know, that kind of resilience we just talked about, it often goes hand in hand with our third point, which the sources describe as a kind of guiding beacon for any real connection, and that is emotional intelligence. So, what is emotional intelligence, really? It's basically being able to understand the wild, complicated world of feelings, not just your partner's, but your own too. It's about having that self-awareness, that empathy. It means you can actually listen, you know? Not just hear words, but understand the feeling behind them. And that, right there, is how you build an unbreakable bond.
Okay, moving on to number 4, we've got authentic confidence. And this is a big one because the sources draw a really sharp line in the sand between this and, well, the classic nice guy persona. So here's the difference. The nice guy thing is often just a front, right? It's passive and it's all about seeking approval from others. But authentic confidence, that comes from a totally different place. It comes from integrity. It means you have boundaries. You respect yourself enough to be assertive. And let's be clear, that's not the same as being arrogant. It's that realness, that authenticity, that truly commands respect.
And that brings us to our 5th and final point. And honestly, this one might just be the most important, because it kind of pulls everything else together. It's the idea of living a life with purpose.
The sources describe a man with purpose as being the captain of his own ship. He's got a map, he knows where he's going, he values his time, he's on a mission, and crucially, he doesn't need a round of applause from everyone else to feel good about it. That kind of self-respect, that sense of direction, apparently, it's magnetic. And this quote from the great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius just hits you right in the chest. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Wow. A life with purpose is about that. It's about actually living, not just existing. And when you build a life that has meaning, all those other things we talked about, that security, that confidence, they just naturally start to shine through.
So let's tie this all together. What's the big takeaway here? It's that all 5 of these things, security, a winner's mindset, emotional intelligence, real confidence, and a sense of purpose,
They aren't things you can go out and buy. Nope, they are qualities that you have to build. It's all about forging your own character, and that, my friends, is a currency that's worth way more than money.
And that really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. The sources all seem to agree. Your greatest value isn't what you have, it's who you're becoming. So the question for you to take away today isn't what's in your bank account. The real question is, what are you building? Thanks for tuning in.